This is the man, Mr. Vida himself.
One second. One of you two smells really nice.
No. Oh, yeah, but it's you. It's mine.
So for the very first time, we're off to the ABR festival. The weather forecast looks good, which is great because we're camping. But it'll be an adventure and we're really looking forward to seeing anybody there. So we'll see you when we get there.
And so with great anticipation we set off for what we hoped was going to be a fantastic couple of days. The weather looked pretty good. We're really looking forward to attending this festival because we'd heard so much about it. But to be honest, it was touch and go whether we're actually going to make it or not because we just couldn't get dog sitter cover. And as it turned out, we only got cover for half of the festival. But we thought it was still worthwhile going and we were really looking forward to it. The only downside, of course, was Sue's aversion to camping. So I thought if we opted for the glamping option, that might persuade her to give it a go.
Despite my reluctance to camp, what I was really looking forward to was meeting a few people who follow the channel. No sooner had we checked in than we met Tony. He and his wife watch all our biking adventures. We really never ever get tired of people coming over to say hi wherever we are.
So that was it. We're all checked in, got our wristbands, signed the disclaimer, got our map. No queuing at all. That's the benefit of going on a Thursday before the major crowds arrived. Now, all we had to do was find our way to the glamping area, which was quite a distance. Just shows you the enormity of the Ragley Hall estate and just how big this festival was going to be. Well, this looks like the right one, but better check the name on it just to be sure. Yep, this is the one. Here's home for the next couple of nights. So we managed to make it, folks. Here we are, ABR Festival 2024, and the sun's out, it's glorious, nice cool breeze, and we're here, not camping, but glamping, only because Sue said she'd never go camping. So let's go and check out our accommodation for the next 3 days. So first thoughts?
I think we've stayed in worse hotel rooms, to be honest.
We have stayed in worse hotel rooms, yeah. Yes.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Apparently it's going to be Pims o'clock soon.
Excellent.
So let's get changed and go and explore. So we just arrived, just unpacked our gear, and we're off to wander and explore the vast area of the ABR. It's enormous. Amazing. We've only just arrived and most people haven't come yet. I mean, it's still Thursday, VIP day.
Now I can see Harley in one of these.
Yeah, so we're just checking out these. You can get Harley in this.
We have a Labrador. I'm just seeing him in that.
They love it. They love it.
Yes.
That is absolutely minute. Oh no, it's the bottom bit. I thought it was the top bit. It is. Oh, it is. Yeah. New toy. It's just better with Paul actually. Oh, is it you? Paul Sparrow. Oh, Paul Sparrow. Yeah. Sorry, Paul Sparrow. There's another Paul coming as well. Is there another Paul? Yeah.
It's now lunchtime. I'm starving. Let's see what we can get.
Burger, fries and a pint.
Burger, fries and muddles. There's a huge selection of food vendors and something to suit every taste. So we opted for gourmet sausages.
You've got a regular foot long, 1 foot long, and then one cheese dog.
See? Retro's back in fashion. BSA. At the Himalayan, or Himalayan, depending how you pronounce it. See, Royal Enfield are really making a massive comeback. So here we are. So now we've orientated yourself. That's the hall.
Let's try and right at the top though.
Oh, we have to go and look at the Triumph apparently. Come to the ABR Festival to look at bikes.
Yeah.
And look what we're checking out.
The old SLs.
Mercedes. The new 1300 GS? I'm still not convinced. I'll have to try a test ride. That's where we are, across the lake. In Glamping City over there. And this is apparently the magic teapot. I don't know what's... So after a very hard, what time did we arrive? 10, 11, probably an hour and a half wandering around the festival. Exhausting work, so time for a swift beer before we go and lie down in our tent. Cheers. ABR Festival, they've got everything. Look, they've even got a supermarket. Look. Little fans. Even got buns and baps in case you want to cook. Water. So a hard morning walking around the site. What else can you do except just
Calm down.
chill out in your glamping tent? First day at the ABR festival, and who should we bump into? Steve, all the way from Newcastle.
Absolutely.
Dave and Esther, our friends from we met on Facebook.
Hello. And
So-
I'm from Middlesbrough.
Yes, long time ago.
Are you over that now?
So just for the benefit of anybody who's interested in attending ABR and wants to check out the quality of the showers and toilets, I'm just going to take you to have a look. This is before the main crowds come. So here we are. Shower areas. I've just had one. I think it's not bad actually. That's all right. You know, obviously fairly basic as you'd expect, but it was plenty warm enough, which is what you need. All right, let's check out the toilets. At the moment, really clean and no complaints at all at the moment. One of the main stages areas over there, over the lake. That's the bike head stage where the headline acts are playing tonight. Anyway, it's almost beer o'clock, so we'll check in later on. First beer o'clock of the ABR Festival 2024. Now the question is, where do we go? There seem to be lots of bars. In fact, they're well catered for. There's loads of places to eat, depending on what you want. You know, there's Thai food, there's paella, there's burgers, there's gourmet sausages, and equally there seems to be plenty of opportunity to get a beer at the moment. Beer o'clock at the Spider Bar. Into, but Richie Vega,
ABR Festival, see
the man
everyone's here.
himself. Yes.
Cheers, everybody.
Good to see you. Cheers.
Happy weekend to all of you.
Exactly. This is the man, Mr. Vida himself. Come on,
One second. One of you two smells really nice.
no. It's you. It's mine. Well, that was great. Just bumped into Richie Vida, one of my favourite YouTubers. Had a lovely chat with him. And now we're here looking for some food, and looks like we found some Thai street food. As it turned out, the queue for the Thai street food didn't seem to be moving after 10 minutes. And not being a very patient man, we went next door and opted for a vegetarian/vegan curry. And it was actually pretty good. Well, here we are, first night at the ABR Festival. The chickpea curry.
Masala chips.
The solid chips. It's cold now. Unfortunately, we were foolish enough to expect it to be warm for the 3 days, and believe me, when that sun went down in the evening, it got pretty chilly. Well, woken up and it's a bit grey, overcast and windy, and frankly a little bit chilly as well. Had an interesting night last night, and now we're off to find some breakfast and go and watch some of the speakers in the travellers' tent. Particularly interested in listening to the chap who's talking about riding the Pan American Highway. Anyway, we'll check in later. what is it? The
F800.
800. How do you think it compares with the Tiger?
Don't know till I'd ride it, but I'm not seeing heated seats.
Looks nice, doesn't it?
Stuff. You have to go a long way to beat my time.
This is the bike that's been places. How far has it been?
8 years, 200,000 miles.
Yeah.
All around the world.
Yeah, it makes our Wales 360 look a bit pathetic, doesn't it? And this is the famous Sam Mannikin, unless I'm very much mistaken. Sam is a very famous adventure motorcyclist. He's written 4 books and travelled all over the world.
The only thing I'm famous for is for falling off a lot.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
Likewise, hello.
nice to
Hi.
meet you.
And this is the bike, of course.
Yep, this is Libby, short for Liberty, because that's what she gives me.
Excellent.
Do you think you should be able to afford a new one by now, wouldn't you?
What on earth for?
Look at this. This is the comfy seats, the old style.
There is a science to sheepskin, so I'm going to be really boring now and tell you what the science
Go on,
of
then.
sheepskins is. When it's hot and you sit on a vinyl saddle, you burn your backside.
Yeah.
When it's hot and you sit on one of these, you never do. When it's cold, this is a lot warmer to sit on.
When it's
Beauty
wet.
is this. When it's wet, it's not a problem, because if you buy one that's not from IKEA or somewhere like that, then you buy one that's still got the lanolin in.
Oh, right.
So sheep are waterproof.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This has still got the lanolin in, which whiffs a little bit for the first week or two that you use it, but then that disappears. But it just means that it might get wet, but as soon as it
Comfort's
dries,
more
half an hour
important.
later it's dry again. But the beauty of this is, see how it goes like this after a while. When you're riding, all of these little knobbles are massaging your backside, and that's one of the reasons that you don't get.
So you get a permanent massage as you're riding.
Exactly, it's like having lots of fingers doing that to your backside.
Sold. I'll take one. And here we have the granddaddy of all round the world riders, the very famous Ted Simon. Ted is an absolute legend in adventure motorcycling. In 1973, at the age of 42, he set off on his Triumph Tiger for a 4-year solo journey around the world, covering 64,000 miles through 45 countries. And can you believe he's 93 years old? Pleased to meet you, Ted.
How do you do?
I read your book years ago.
I would think so. It was written years ago.
Yes. This is the person who kick-started the whole thing, Jupiter's Travels. Triumph, of course.
Yeah.
Are you still on the road, Ted? Are you?
I'm on a scooter now. So I'm not going around the world again. Not anymore.
So,
I've done it enough.
and how many years ago was the second one?
The second one, 2003.
Did you do the same trip to compare it with the first one?
Yes. Yes.
And how was the comparison?
Well, it's very much changed. Dramatic. First, the main difference was that on the first journey I was lost, and the second journey you couldn't get lost anymore. You know.
But being lost is part of the fun, isn't it?
Of course, absolutely. That's what made that whole experience extraordinary.
Remind me, Ted, what year did you do that? The first one?
73.
1973.
Yeah, 73. So before digital, before anything at all, you know, just camera.
Before sat-navs, before any of that stuff.
Absolutely. Yes.
Fantastic.
No mobile phones, no way to get in touch with anyone.
Very brave.
Trying to get cosy in this. It's like some kind of. How do you describe this?
Like an oriental type.
Like a Moroccan souk or something. Whatever it's called.
It is a bit like someone should come and offer you a pipe of opium.
Yeah. Where's the hubbly bubbly? Just waiting for the first speaker to arrive.
Laura! Thank you very much for joining us. We want to hear about your trip because it sounds it sounds fantastic. You're a father and daughter. How did you guys, as a dad and daughter, decide that one day you'd like to go and ride the Pan America Highway together?
I'm a very, very new rider, to a point that this is the first year at ABR I'm allowed to test ride. So for about the first 5 weeks, it's safe to say we're butting heads.
We were.
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, a lot we were butting heads. And I think it took us that 5 weeks to just settle into travelling together and figuring out who had what role, who was going to be in charge of bike maintenance, routes, logistics. And once we'd figure out that he was the mechanic and I was the logistics and Spanish learner, it was plain sailing from there.
In fact, once that was sorted, I mean, then Laura had sort of almost sole responsibility for the route, apart from coming to me and going, well,
obviously there is risk there. You'd be naive to not say that. But also, it doesn't mean that everywhere you go, someone is going to stop you and try and nick your bike. It's about being sensible. So we didn't ride at night. We made sure that the bikes were out of sight, and we were only met with just excitement and happiness and people stopping us all the time. Where are you from? How are you doing? And so obviously there's risk, but there's parts of London where there's risk.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm from Leicester, there's parts of Leicester where there's risk. So you take the same precaution there as you would. And obviously there are people that do unfortunately get a bit.
So, where have we just been?
Just listened to
David
and Laura, who've just done the Pan American Highway
Yeah.
as a dad and daughter.
Fantastic. Really
Interesting to listen to, but wow, things seem much easier now than they were when you did it in 2010.
Yeah.
The apps available, the information.
Didn't have any smartphones or WhatsApp groups, but it was really interesting. It was a brilliant talk. I'd highly recommend it if you come in to the ABR to go to the Traveller's Tent and get some real stories of people who've done really amazing adventures.
What it did tell me is you were completely bonkers to do it in 2010 on your own.
Yeah, don't do it on your own. It's mad. Very famous Nick Saunders, who's holds world records galore. And by the way, this is an amazing gaff you've got here.
It's mine.
Oh, you see? Behind every great man there's a greater woman.
The kitchen.
Look at that. This is the way to travel. I bet you could have done this on the Pan American. So Nick holds the world record for doing the craziest thing ever, which is doing the Pan American, which one time is enough, but you went, did you go bottom up or top down?
Down, up.
Up, down, up. And how long,
back down to New York.
how long did it take you?
44 days.
44
well, to do it twice, yeah.
And you did that on the
The Tenerife Super,
Tenerife.
the 1200, the Tenerife Super Tenerife.
and this an R1? Did you ride around the world on that?
Yeah, I rode around the world in R1 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah.
You want to get a proper job.
I know. I wouldn't go.
It's ice cream time again. The sun's come out, so here she is.
Lost it.
It's unlike anywhere else you'll ever go. Just the hugeness of the place, to be honest, and the atmosphere is amazing, and it's a long way, which is a nice thing. Been, I think, 15 times probably now into Alaska and round Alaska.
So what is it about it? You mentioned it's pretty pristine. What is it about that drew you there again and again and made you decide, actually, I'm gonna lead people to this part of the world and show them it myself?
It's unlike anywhere. I've been lucky enough to have been to quite a lot of places around the world, and it's unlike anywhere else. It's big, it's empty, it's unspoiled. It's called they call it the last frontier, and it does really feel like you're just on the edge of the frontier.
So that was a talk on Alaska.
Yeah.
So
Made it sound like it was the easiest ride in the world. Oh, the Dalton Highway. It's a breeze. Tempting.
yeah, let's get past it. Pay me not to play. So if you've never been to the ABR festival and you're considering going, would we recommend the glamping option?
Those of you who've watched our adventures will be very aware that my idea of camping is to be able to see a tree from my comfy hotel room. So you may be surprised to see that we opted for tent life at this year's ABR festival. To be fair, it wasn't the standard tiny tent that many bikers choose to strap to the back of the bikes. No, this was officially glamping. The glamping bell tents were actually pretty large, I'd say probably around 5 metres in diameter, held up by a central pole and lots of pegs. There were rows and rows of these tents already pitched when we arrived, and we're only a few minutes' walk from all the main attractions, stands and catering areas. We had no problem fitting 4 camping chairs inside our tent, 2 of which we'd actually hired from the Glamping company for £5 each, and which we used to hold our biking gear. There was also a small table and a bed. The bed had been billed as a double. In reality, it was more like a 3/4 size camping bed and wasn't especially comfortable. Not that we expected it to be honest. I guess no one really wants to be right next to the mobile loos at a big festival, for obvious reasons. But nor is it fun to have to walk 50+ yards during the night if you need a pee. It is the whole bathroom facilities thing that's the main reason for us having left our camping days behind. And even this glamping experience didn't change our minds. Next year, we'll be in a nearby hotel. The service was very good. The original Glamping company went bust a few months earlier, and the company who took over, called Beautiful Bells, were very professional and efficient. Katrina, who I dealt with during the booking, was very helpful. The check-in and disclaimer form area as you enter the festival was well managed and was apparently markedly quicker on the Thursday when we arrived than on the Friday or Saturday when the queues were significantly longer. The staff in the food and bar areas were also friendly, although there was quite a wait for food in the evenings regardless of which vendor you went to. There was plenty of parking for the bikes right next to the tent, and we didn't feel the need to lock them for the duration of our visit, although we did notice that some other riders did. There was food for just about every taste, from the traditional burger and sausage vans through to Thai and even vegan Asian. There was also lots of choice when it came to beer o'clock, with a number of craft beer trucks scattered around. We left on Friday evening as we had to get home for our 4-legged friend, so we only ate dinner on Thursday. As I mentioned, the wait time for food was not insignificant and was probably even longer as the crowds arrived over the weekend. If you like camping, you'll love the glamping option. If not, there are apparently a few local pubs and hotels not far away.
And so sadly that was the end of our brief visit to the ABR Festival 2024. So what are our final thoughts? Well, if you love camping and you love glamping, you'll absolutely love the ABR Festival. But when you're a man of a certain age, which I am, the last thing you want to do at night is get up several times to go for a pee and walk 50 yards to the toilet, or even pee in a bottle. I'm afraid those days are long gone. So from now on, it's going to be something with an ensuite bathroom for us. But having said all that, the whole experience was amazing. It's an incredible festival, and no wonder more and more people keep coming back every year. There's just something so special about being part of the biking community. Everybody's welcoming and friendly, and no matter where you come from, or what your background is, or what bike you ride, it's just a special feeling.
The stands, the guest speakers and the general buzz of the place were all amazing, but for me the highlight has to be meeting all the people who follow our adventures on the channel. Here's to ABR 2025.
A massive thank you to everyone who took the time and trouble to come over and say hello. We really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you all again next year.